What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're curious to know, can you daily drive a CFMoto 675 or really any motorcycle for that matter? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. But if you're new to the channel, what's going on? My name is Jeffrey, and on this channel we're all about purpose over comfort and faith over fear. So many people in life are going to tell you to not go after your dreams. So many people in life are going to tell you to essentially don't do the things that you want to do in life. I want to be that one person that tells you to go after it. Sometimes you got to step out of your comfort zone to go after things you want to go after in life. But nothing in life that's worth doing is easy, so sometimes you gotta just do it. But with that out of the way, can you daily drive a CFMoto 675 or really any type of motorcycle for that matter? The short answer is yes, but long answer is, well, it depends. So I think in short, this bike is a fun motorcycle. I've made videos talking about the CFMoto 675, like my thoughts on it, things like that. Obviously, I think it's a great bike. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought it. But I think you gotta be realistic with yourself too. The realistic thing about it is where you live, what type of things do you need, and what's your commute like. Because that's going to determine everything. In the past, I lived on the East Coast in Buffalo. It gets cold there in the wintertime. And yeah, you're not going to be daily driving a freaking motorcycle, you know, in the winter and things like that. Places like this now inside California, oh yeah, 100% I feel like you could, but that still depends. What's your commute like? Now the good thing is though, in California you can lane split, so that cuts down on traffic a lot. There is risk to it, but you know, you do it responsibly, it cuts down on traffic a lot. You can get through places a lot quicker. It is a nice bonus of having a motorcycle out here, just because if you can do those type of things with it. If you have a long commute that's going to be highway and things like that, I think for sure it would help. But the biggest downside is, you know, taking stuff with you, your grocery shopping, just stuff like that, stuff that you need. You know, I'm fortunate enough and blessed enough that, like, for the most part, I don't really commute, if that makes sense. So for me, like, this bike is just purely for pleasure and for, you know, business, things like that. So that's like the nice thing about it. But I could not imagine just having a motorcycle if I needed to go grocery shopping and things like that. We have dogs. We literally have to take them to the vet. So, you know, having a truck for me is nice. But oh my gosh, just want to take a small little break. I'm gonna get some water. I've been driving around for like, I don't even know, a couple hours today. I just want to go for a quick drive. But can you daily drive it? Like I was saying before, if you live somewhere where it's warm enough that you can ride all year round, oh yeah, for sure. I'm blessed enough that I don't really have to drive a commute to work. I don't have to worry about that too much. So that's like pretty nice. But the other thing is though, just thinking about if you have to thinking about groceries and things like that. Like for me, I could not imagine having to always have to get groceries on a motorcycle. Something like bigger, like a Goldwing or like a Sport Tourer, where you have a trunk, like dedicated trunk storage. I think that would help out a lot. That would make things a lot easier. That would give you the ability to ride something that you can have stored, dedicated storage on the bike. Just carrying around a book bag all day, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's not the funnest thing when it comes down to riding on a motorcycle for sure. It's doable, but I feel like if you're young and you're single, you don't have a family, yeah, I mean, I would. Saving on gas, getting gas on the motorcycle is so much cheaper than it is inside of a car. My gas prices, oh my God, just for comparison, inside the truck to fill up, especially in California, it was like literally like $100 versus on here. I mean, from like empty, it's probably like 20. I don't know what the fuel tank capacity is on here. Actually, I don't know off the top of my head, but that's like the big thing. You save on time, you save on gas, but the negative side is that, well, you can't carry anything and you have to carry other people. I mean, you could on here, but you know, it's not gonna be as easy. And then the other thing is to mention is the insurance. Insurance on motorcycles are high. If you're like younger, oh my gosh, bro, to get insurance on a motorcycle, in most cases, it's gonna be pretty expensive just because most people crash them and they don't wanna have to basically give you the money just for a brand new bike after you wrecked your old one. So you do have to be considerate with that. So I mean, there's pros and cons to it. I think this bike, as far as like a sport bike, it's fairly comfortable. It's very responsive. It's a nice bike to drive. I think you could daily drive it. When I say fairly easily, there's some pros, there's some cons. You have to be careful about a couple things, but I think it's doable. The major thing that you have to be considerate is just your space and everything like that. But as far as this bike goes, I feel like this is just as good to daily drive as any other sport bike. For me personally, if I were to daily drive a motorcycle, I feel like I would want a Sport Tourer, just something that has some type of dedicated storage. I think that would be nice to have extra bags. I normally have my tank bag with me and things like that, but just having something that you can just always have on you. Even as you can see with this bike, I'm taking a small break just because, yeah, even though it's comfortable for a sport bike, it still is a sport bike at the end of the day. And sport bikes, they drive like sport bikes. You're in a much more aggressive positioning, stuff like that. I think like a naked bike is probably funner for like the city and urban environment, but it just depends on what you're gonna be doing with it. If you're gonna be using it just to commute to and from work every day in the city, then yeah, having like probably a naked bike might be funner. Like we have the CB500F. I think that's funner, even though that's like a smaller bike than this for sure. It's like funner in the city, at least for me. Or having, you know, if you're gonna be just doing long commutes on the highway, something like long stretches, then probably having something like a Sport Tourer might be a little bit funner. But it just depends on what you want. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. I think the CFMoto 675, if you want to daily drive a sport bike, this is just as good as a sport bike to drive as any other one. Power's decent, you can have a lot of fun, and it's an enjoyable bike to ride. But if you want something a little bit different, you might want to look at any other type of motorcycle. But that's just my 2 cents. But if you want to see what this thing is like on a long trip, check this video out on the screen. I drove this thing all the way down to Vegas and back. That was a fun time. Check the video out, subscribe for more, and see you in the next one.